Welcome everyone to episode 126 of 1 Hour, 1 Decision, 1H1D. I am Chris.
And I am Tom.
And we take 60 minutes and play a random game on Xbox Game Pass and decide, well, Tom, is ranching or herding slimes for us?
What if we do it twice?
Well, we didn't do it the first time, so there's that issue.
Let's skip it right to the second one.
Get right to the second one. This episode, we're going to be talking about Slime Rancher 2 by, I'm going to butcher this, Monomi Park. I believe that's how you say it.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me. Hopefully I didn't butcher it. Monomi Park. This game is not out. It is still in game preview as of this recording.
How did we play it if it's not out, Chris?
You know, we got the inside track. That's what happened. We got the inside track.
It's called that Game Pass.
It's called that Game Pass, and you should try it too. Anyway, this game was 1.57 gigabytes on the PC. Tom, what about you?
Disappointing. 1.9 gigabytes on the Series S.
And that's why it's in game preview. They're still working on it.
They got to figure out those 0.3 gigabytes. Sort it out. They've got time.
They've got time. But in the meantime, what kind of game is this?
Okay, so I was conflicted here. I put first person, and then I put shooter in quotation marks, and then I put adventure.
I put first person casual game because it feels like one of those like Farmville casual style games, but you know, in first person. So there's that.
Yeah. That's a better description.
How about that game loop? Let's talk about that.
I have harvest slimes and bring them back to your ranch so you can farm them for resources.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I wrote roughly the same thing, just in different words. Wrangle slimes and pick up their poop to make better gear to harvest more slimes.
You do harvest their poop.
Or they call them plorps. Was it plorps?
Plorp. I think it's a plorp.
It probably sounds like how it happens. The action.
Yeah, it's the onomatopoeia. It's the sound of them defecating.
Defecating, yes. Well, we'll get into the defecation part later. Let's get into the stuff that we liked. What did we like about this game?
I was impressed with how extensive the options were, considering that this is still in a game preview.
Yeah.
Usually I expect a game preview like options to be slim to none, but this is a full suite of options. You can totally customize your controls. You can customize just about everything. So kudos.
Absolutely. There was, it felt like a very polished preview game.
Yes.
At least from what I've seen. I totally agree with you. I thought also the toggles for accessibility were pretty good too. You know, all things considered, because when you start the game, you can turn it off to be completely casual. Because in this game there are like enemies, like evil or bad slimes, you could turn them off completely. So kind of neat that you could make it super casual. More casual, almost Vampire Survivor casual, but
there's still buttons that you have to press. Thank goodness.
Right. You're not just moving around. You're interacting with this world. And might I say, this world was very pretty looking, very pretty, very adorable art style, I would say. I don't know what you thought about that.
I agree with you 100%. It's bright, it's colorful, it looks really good. It's one of those games that will continue to look good well into the future.
Very, like they had a very good stylistic choice. They stuck with it and very consistent all throughout. And I applaud them for that. It looks very, very good for what it is. And everything I saw was very pastel-y, which is fine. You know, that's the thing that they're going for. So, and this game is first person, Tom.
Yes.
And I'd like to let everyone know you can see your feet in this game.
Hallelujah, Chris.
Hallelujah. So that is one of my likes that I'd like to say. We got that out of the way there. So.
No, that's important to you. It's probably important to some of our listeners as well.
Yeah, you got to see your feet. First person shooter, see your feet. No.
Or else.
Or just be a terrible game.
Those are the options.
What else you got over there, Tom?
I think the basic mechanics of the game are easy to learn. There's a tutorial. It's not super long. It's not super complicated. Yep. I appreciated that I was not overwhelmed by like a deluge of pop-ups, trying to start up the game. Because especially in these preview style games that aren't quite done yet, especially when they don't have voice acting, because this game doesn't have voice acting, it's very easy for them to fall in the trap of just like walls of text.
Yep.
Like, we're just going to do everything with blocks of text on the screen.
Right.
This game does not do that. So I was very pleased by that.
Right. And I think the nice thing is I think you could bring up the tutorials at any point. Almost like it kind of reminded me of when I used to play Street Fighter and you would go into like the moves list kind of thing.
Yes.
When you're in training, like they had that. Like it was always available in the menus, but also in the world, there are places that you can go to refresh yourself, like refresh your memory in terms of how you do said things in the world. So, they give you different ways to understand how the game works. So that was nice. No, and the other thing, I definitely agree with you. This game definitely was easy to pick up and play. Very basic controls. The right trigger was to shoot, eject things from your vacuum gun. And I think the left trigger was to suck everything out, if I remember that correctly. And then the bumpers, I believe, were to just switch the actual item your vacuum gun has in it, like in your inventory, so to speak. So.
Yes, because you have at least to start, you have 4 pockets. And so you can either inhale into those pockets or shoot out from those pockets.
To me, it seemed like there was, as simple as it was, there definitely was, it felt like there's some complexity underneath all of this like soft, squishy, adorable interior exterior that there was, because not only are you managing the slimes that you capture, you're managing your resources, you're managing a bunch of stuff in this game. So for the gamer that wants a little bit more in their game rather than just push and pull things, I guess. And I thought that the game overall, like just walking around in the world, they did a pretty good job of designing the world with like decent landmarks. I felt like, because there were times where I definitely like a little lost, but then I was like, oh wait, I've seen that before. I know where that is. Like, so I was good for me to be able to like relocate myself in the world, because I mean it's not a very big one, but it's pretty sprawling in terms of how you get around. There's multiple ways to get to particular areas and stuff like that, so I thought that was kind of cool.
And the map was pretty good too. Like if you wanted to pop up in the map and showed you where you were, showed you like fog of war, like where you hadn't been, and that sort of stuff. So
just really quickly to recap, I don't recap, but the game starts off with you apparently, I guess this might have been like the end of Slime Rancher 1, that you find some sort of letter that says, hey, there's a new world for you to explore, or a new area for you to explore, and your said character comes to this new area and says, like, that's how you start off in this game. So that's how it is. Anything else here, Tom, or shall we get to our dislikes?
Just that I did think the music was pretty chill and mellow, and worked for kind of this very casual Zen kind of game that you're playing. So
definitely, I agree.
I agree.
It was nice to just chill out and some poop, I guess. I don't know.
Harvest poop.
On that note, let's talk about the things that we didn't like in this game. And I'll start right there with, why am I picking up poop? Am I a zookeeper? I guess I am, in a way, right?
Yeah, you are. You putting the animals in cages, and then you got to feed them, and then you got to suck up their poop.
But apparently their poop is valuable, so there's that.
I mean, is not all poop valuable?
It does turn to manure or something.
Yeah. Fertilizer.
So yeah, maybe. But I just don't get it. Like, the game is fetish. I don't know if they're fetishizing the whole thing or not. It's just a little odd. A little odd that I'm picking up poop, but whatever. Talking about the tutorial that you mentioned, it was definitely short. I think a little too short.
I'm with you. Mine just seems like it just abruptly stopped. Like it was just kind of like it told me something to do, and then I was like, oh, okay, you're done. But it didn't give me like a tutorial complete or anything like that. Like I wasn't like, did I miss something? Did I not finish the mission? I didn't know.
I agree. And then because the way how abruptly it ended, I didn't know where I was supposed to go next, because as I was exploring the area, I got to a point where I got to like a wall, like, the invisible wall.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, am I just stuck in this sanctuary? Am I missing something that I had to do? So there was a little confusion there for sure, because of the way how abruptly. again, it is in-game preview, so
Yes.
maybe they are working out the kinks there. But speaking of bring it back to the poop stuff. Why am I feeding poop to the other slimes? Why are they eating other people's slimes?
That was something that happened?
Yeah, because if you notice in the world, there's sometimes there are fusions of these slimes.
Yes.
And how they do that is they eat the other.
Oh, they eat the poop? See, I thought they like consumed the other slime.
No, they eat the poop.
Oh. See, I thought it was I guess that's better. My version was so much darker in my head. I thought that they were just like, like the bunny one went and ate the pink one and became a pink bunny one. And I was like,
that's fair. I mean, like I thought the whole like eating the chickens was kind of dark too. It just it gave me the Blob vibes. Remember that movie, The Blob? And it was like, that was I waited around to watch one of them eat a chicken, and it was a little disturbing. I'll be honest.
So much for that Zen vibe.
Yeah, I guess if you just cut into that layer of cuteness a little bit, you can see how dark it gets. What else did you not like about this game, Tom?
I felt pretty lost after I abruptly was kicked out of the tutorial. Like I was wandering aimlessly. I really didn't know what I was supposed to do. I guess really the answer is whatever you want. But for me, that's problematic. And there's no like mission log. Like there's nothing to be like, this is what you can be working on.
Right.
It's kind of just harvest slimes, collect slimes so you can feed them, so you can collect their poop, so you can shoot the poop into the resource machine thing, so you can get money cages for your monsters.
Rinse and repeat.
For your slimes.
And then on top of that, you have your upgrade system too, which requires that poop too.
Yeah.
It's like you either have to. And I think that was another thing that was a little maybe a negative for me, was that the same resources you're using to build your cages and gardens and stuff like that is the same thing you use to upgrade your gear. So there's always like this balancing act of, do I have enough? Because you need the money to do the upgrades, but you also need the resources to do the upgrades. So it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
There's a bit of confusion there.
And I perpetually felt like there were not enough resources for me to be building and learning. Like in the early stages of a game like this, like resources kind of need to be plentiful so that you can figure out how to play the game. Yeah. Right. Like, okay, now you can go build a chicken coop. Now you can go build this thing or build a farm or whatever. But if I'm strapped for cash the entire time, like it makes it challenging and not in a fun way. Like, that challenge should come later. The early part of the game should be very like, here's everything you need to do whatever you need to do.
So kind of frustrating with that. The other thing I thought was a little frustrating was, why have these cages that the slimes constantly get out of?
Bigger walls.
Well, but I can't. I only have one type of wall.
But then you can upgrade the wall to taller wall.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
And if you have like hoppy slimes like those bunny slimes, you need tall walls. Otherwise, they're coming right out the top.
I tried to cage the flying ones. I was like, oh, this is not going to work at all. They as soon as I put them in, they're like, I'm out. It's like, wait, what? No, don't do that. So yeah, that was unfortunate. And
then they're in your ranch. They're eating all your crops. It's no bueno.
Some of them get a little angry too. I at one point I think I had maybe 20 or so of the pink slimes, and then they eventually just stacked on top of each other to get out. So it was. Well, I probably shouldn't have put all those in there in one cage or whatnot. So
yeah,
that was my fault.
It's probably a
other thing.
PETA violation.
Yes. Please don't come after me. What are we supposed to do with those big beefy boys that are blocking the path? I don't know if you noticed or saw any. Like there's like some big ones, but there's even bigger ones that are just like they just like wedge themselves into particular paths, and I'm like, what am I doing here? How do I get this thing out of here? I'm assuming, I guess the idea is that you upgrade your gear to maybe pull them out.
Yeah.
Move them out of the way. Or do you feed them? You just keep feeding them until they explode or something like that.
Also a possibility. Maybe you play a flute and then they wake up and move like a Snorlax.
Like a Snorlax. Maybe. But these guys are awake. I don't know what to tell you there. But anything else here, Tom? Or should we get to our other thoughts?
I want to touch briefly that I did run into those scary tar slimes. And they just they were consuming everything. It was
Oh, wow.
It was a traumatic experience. They were eating
Did they
all
come
of
to
the
your
friendly
sanctuary?
slimes. I ran away because I had no way to fight back. I didn't know what to do.
Right.
But they just gobbled up everything in sight. It was
Wow. That's scary.
it was. I was like, I can't fight these people. There's nothing to
Did
do.
they-
All I can do is run.
Did they come out at night, or was it like they just
Yeah. It
broad
was
daylight
like
kind of thing?
it was
Okay.
nighttime. And eventually, I guess I learned that you could build turrets and stuff to try to like,
Oh.
defend yourself from them. But I didn't have any resources to build those turrets. So
No,
yeah.
of course not. Why would you? Why would you have the resources? That makes no sense. Okay. So here I'm going to say this game does have Xbox cloud saves, and it is cloud gaming capable. I didn't test cloud gaming, but it is those lovely features there. So,
That's good stuff.
good stuff. What about you, Tom? Any other thoughts here on this game?
We've mentioned it a couple of times, but I do think it's very important to note that this game is in active development. There are regular patches, like they have a website and, with patch notes and things like that.
Yep.
So the experience that we had is obviously not indicative of what the final experience of playing the fully baked version of this game is going to be.
Absolutely. But once we got through all that, though, Tom, we got to find out, don't we? Game is staying on our respective hard drives. Are we keeping these slimes, or tossing them into the ocean,
sucking them into the vacuum and spitting them out over a cliff?
Right over that cliff. But before we get to that, I do want to thank our amazing sponsor, cdkeys.com, for helping support the show. And you can help support the show by checking out our link in the description below, in the podcast description or the YouTube description, and clicking the link and checking out all the cool games that they always have great deals on. Daily deals, always. And hey, you might be able to pick up some games that just got off of Game Pass for really cheap too. It's a possibility. If that tickles your fancy, then please check them out. And thanks again, CD Keys. But now, Tom, our final decisions. Are we keeping?
Okay, so I want to say it was a cute experience. It's important for me to note that my hour went by very quickly. Yeah. It was not an experience that dragged. So that's a point in its corner,
Yep.
On the other side, for me, I was like so lost and directionless most of the time. Like, I need the games that I play to be like, this is where you go and this is what you do and this is how you finish the level. And this is not there. This is way more sandbox than that.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes it a problem for me. That said, if the final version of this game has a mission log and has directions and has a very like story mode, like this is what you do. I enjoyed playing the game for the hour I played it. So
I agree with you. I thought this game definitely had its charm. It was very adorable, and I know it's a single player game, but I could see this game being a pretty fun game to do cooperatively. It could be kind of neat, and I'm generally not into these kind of casual style games, but this was. Like you said, the hour definitely went by quickly. And, when this game does come out, I might give it a shot. But, since it is still in game preview, I just want them to kind of work out some of the stuff like you mentioned, the tutorial and stuff like that. So I'm going to pass on.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that this is the kind of game that if we could play it co-op would make it changes the whole game.
Like imagine you're able to vacuum each other. Like that would be so fun. Like to shoot each other into different areas, so like hard to reach, because there are a lot of hard to reach places. Yes, I know there's like a jetpack and stuff like that you could use, but I think that would just be hilarious to be able to do
that. There's also like little things like resource management becomes a lot easier if you have two people. Yeah, because then you have 8 pockets to store things, which would make big difference.
Yes, indeed. But those are our thoughts. Let us know what you think of the game. Follow us and say hello on Twitter at TC1H1D or shoot us an email at TC1H1D@outlook.com. Check out our streams on Twitch at twitch.tv/1H1D. And if you're watching us on YouTube, send us a comment down below and we'll try to respond. We'll do that. What else we'll do is let you know that QTV is part of that QTV network. And if you like gaming content, not just podcasts, but Twitch stuff and TikToks and articles, check out the whole cool stuff that's out there at quitthebill.com/network. Now, Tom, we do got to find out what we're playing next, don't we?
It is an integral part of this experience.
Absolutely it is. So surprise you button, tell us what we have in store. Here we go. Oh, okay. Interesting. It is Shadowrun, Dragonfall, Director's Cut.
There's a lot of words in there, Chris, and I'm not familiar with any of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe dragons?
Oh,
And
that's fair. Yes.
We have shadows. And running. Well, we
Okay,
don't
so
do that.
individually, I'm familiar with all of these words.
And falling.
When you put them all,
I do a lot of falling, too.
When you put them all together, what kind of game is it? I guess we'll find out.
We will find out. And that'll be it for this episode. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks, everybody.